What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Numero dos here in my 7-day challenge. Today's video is going to be on being the candy, gum, and Oculus guy or girl at work. So in retrospect, I probably could have come up with a better name for this title, but really it is what it is. And that is being the person at your job that has a bowl of candy in their office, that has gum in their office, or that brings cool stuff to the office for people to check out. Shout out to Lauren on this one if you happen to be watching. I learned this one from you. But the idea here is that if you keep a bunch of candy in your office or you keep a bunch of gum, gum's a good one because there's no calories to it. People don't feel guilty about eating it. And it just brings people into your office. They'll stop by just to grab a piece of candy or some gum. And it generates conversation. It generates conversation with people that you might not normally talk with. You might have a CEO stop by to grab some gum and you strike up a conversation. It's kind of a baiting technique that I've been using for years now, ever since I've learned this. It works really well because it gets you involved with people you might not normally be talking with. This also applies to bringing cool stuff to the office. So if you are the person that has an Oculus or you have an HTC Vive, shout out to Daniel on this one if you happen to be watching, learn this trick from you. You bring that into the office and you do a lunch and learn, or you do something like that, and people stop by and you have a little setup for people to kind of experiment with stuff that they may not normally have access to in their life or may not want to buy. And again, it just generates those conversations, generates some interesting situations that you just don't expect. I've picked up freelance work off of this where I have had people stop by my office to chat or whatever, and then they get started on, hey, I've got this project I'm working on, and hey, you got some extra freelance work now. This can also apply to just having a cool office. You can be the person that has the Philips Hue or the LifeX bulbs in their office. I love my tech, I love my lighting, I love my home automation, and I try to bring some of that to work to show people a little bit of my personality. But again, it also gets people just stopping by. They're checking out the lighting, they're checking out stuff. You become known as the cool office person at work. I also do a lot of things like keeping puzzles or keeping little fidget toys laying around my office. People will stop by to check out those and mess around with those and starts a conversation. I also keep a click and grow in my office. If you don't know what those are, look them up, pretty neat. It's a little self-sufficient planting thing you can keep in your office. It's self-watering, so you don't have to be there every day to water it. And people will stop by and say, what do you got growing in there? What's going on? And it starts another conversation. The point is to create an environment at work that's more interesting than other people's environments and has things that invites people into your office to eat some candy or check out your plants or whatever and start those conversations. You may not normally talk to these people. You may get a CEO or a CFO stopping by that you just don't interface with. That can create some really interesting opportunities. So one final piece to this puzzle, and it's not really part of being the candy person at work. It's kind of different, but along the same vein. And that is to take note of the niceties at work. What I mean by this is, as humans, we want people to care. We want people to pay attention. We want people to connect with us on a different level, and it shouldn't be any different at work. You should pay attention to the things like birthdays. It goes a long ways to get someone a $5 Starbucks gift card and leave it on their desk in the morning on their birthday when no one else knows about their birthday. They will remember that. People remember stuff like that. Maybe you pay attention to someone that's been sick and they've been struggling with health issues. Just ask them how they're doing. That can go a long ways to being a person and just making someone feel like people care. Maybe they don't get this at home or from other people, so just asking how someone's doing can go a long ways. And maybe it's someone that has a kid in school that's struggling with something, or maybe something totally unrelated to work, but asking people about that type of stuff too, it just makes you a better person overall, a better human, but it also will make people more likely to come over to your office, talk to you, and create some friends. So I hope you learned a little something off that. It really is a good pro tip. If you use it, try it. Keep one thing of gum in your office and you'll be surprised how many people stop by. I remember in high school, like being the gum person there too. Like, hey, do you have a stick of gum? And starts a conversation. Just give it a try. It's a lot more powerful than you think it is. But thanks for joining me here for this video in the 7-day series I'm doing. I am looking forward to the next one. If you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get notified of future videos like this, and especially on this 7-day series. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.